In the world of college football, there's never been so much upheaval and uncertainty. 53 of the 130 teams in the top tier of college football won't be playing this fall, or at least that's how things currently stand. There is the increasing possibility that some schools that decided not to play will be playing, and of course the fear that many that are planning to play will be forced to shut down. What kind of season will it be? Unlike anything we've seen or even imagined. As it now stands, 3 of the Power 5 are playing. 2 are not. The argument against playing comes down to this: it's safer not to. The argument for playing, its proponents say the risks can be managed and that players might be safer at school than at home. Where the games are not being played, there's been some pushback. Saturday in Ann Arbor, Michigan, a rally. Players, their parents, even Wolverines head coach Jim Harbaugh protesting the Big Ten decision not to play.
We want to play as soon as we possibly can, and we're ready to play.
Meanwhile, the coronavirus has been spiking on college campuses around the country, with outbreaks at dozens of schools in the last few weeks. So many young people are testing positive, the conferences are now in the position of hypothesizing what to do if team rosters are decimated by infections. The Big 12 has announced that a team must play or forfeit if at least 53 players are healthy, including 1 quarterback, 7 offensive linemen, and 3 interior defensive linemen. At the same time, players are engaging in the social justice movement that swept over the country. Just last night, some of the game's most high-profile players announced their goals for the upcoming season and released a statement of purpose. At the top of their list, ensuring that all athletes are free from team commitments on November 3rd to be able to vote. And for more, we welcome our colleague Paul Finebaum, host of the Paul Finebaum Show on the SEC Network and ESPN Radio. Paul, what was your reaction to the list of goals some high-profile players put out last night on social media?
Jeremy, it's extraordinary, and I think the thing that I noticed that was the most interesting is the effort to vote. You're hearing that from the NBA players, you're hearing it from others, and now you're hearing it from college players. And I think that's how they feel they can enact change. I mean, there's some other very substantive bits of conversation in there that Trevor Lawrence and many other of his colleagues have put in there. But getting Election Day off, I thought, was the most interesting. How
do coaches, you think, feel about that and the other goals?
Yeah, I doubt coaches are thrilled with that. Now, of course, they won't say that publicly, but it is a disruption to game week. And coaches, as you know, Jeremy, do not like any disruption at all. So I think they will quietly fret and raise their eyebrows, but this has been something that I think has been coming for a while, and once the NBA made a big deal about it and others have made a big deal about it, I don't think there's going to be a coach who at least says anything publicly. I'll be shocked.
Paul, it seems this season, it feels like something from dystopian science fiction. 1 quarterback, 7 linemen, etc. Lane Kiffin saying teams aren't going to have enough players to field teams, and he could be right. How are you, as someone who follows this and does shows every day about it, how are you processing the constant stream of news, which is about much more than what's going on the field?
It is different than anything we've ever encountered, but how many times can we say that in the last 6 months? But I thought it was interesting. The SEC season was supposed to start last Saturday. Tennessee had 44 players missing a scrimmage. If this happens during the regular season, I mean, we are in an area where we've never been before. I mean, you could have scrubs playing in major college football Power 5 games, and every time someone says to me, "Oh, well, what do you think about this guy or that guy?" I'm like saying, "Hey, you better have depth." I know I've heard NFL people say that. College people are saying it even more because the college players, I think, are far more vulnerable because of their age.
Paul, Saturday in Ann Arbor, Michigan, there was that rally. Players, their families, even Jim Harbaugh, people protesting the Big Ten's decision not to play. What did you make of all that, in particular Harbaugh's presence there?
Well, I think Jim Harbaugh is interesting that he has gone that far out. I mean, he is now clearly at odds with the president of the University of Michigan, who is an immunologist and who many believe was one of the key people to shut the Big Ten down. And I guess Jim Harbaugh has security. He's proven that even without beating Ohio State. But I like what he's doing. I think we're living in an era where coaches are speaking out about a lot of issues, including this one, completely and directly in contrast with their bosses and the people that ultimately could fire them.
A contagion season unlike anything we're probably ever going to see. Paul, thank you for joining us and sharing your insights as always.
Of course, Jeremy. Thank you.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.